Hey folks, it's Chad here with Airstream of Greensboro, a Blue Compass company. I've got Laura behind the camera. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina. And behind me, I've got the 2025 Flying Cloud 30 front bed bunk floor plane model. Let's jump into a walk around now. All right, folks, we are going to start on the outside. If you don't want to see the outside of this because it looks like every other Airstream that's ever been on the market, feel free to skip ahead and check out the inside. Now, up here in the front, we have the two 30-pound propane tanks that are going to be underneath this cover. Of course, we have a power ton jack that does have a manual override right there in the top. And then we're going to have two Battle-Born 100 amp hour batteries underneath this cover here that does have a lock now. Laura, I don't know if you knew this, but it didn't always have a lock here.
Does ours have a lock?
Ours does not have a lock.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep, so two Battle-Born 100 amp hour batteries right there. That is an option. With Airstream, you can do no batteries and just solar, and then you can do nothing and just pre-wired for solar if you want to do that. If you do get the solar package, it's 300 watts of Marlin solar panels. There's 3 of them, 100 watts each. Now, this being a front bed model, we are going to have some storage right here in the front. Laura's going to show you that, and this happens to be a twin bed as well, which is going to give us a little bit of extra outside storage. Now, underneath this front section over here, we're going to have our propane quick connect right there. You can cook things like grills and all those types of things. Laura's going to come around to this side and show you the solar input there. So there is an extra solar input, like a zinc panel will work really good with that. That already has a solar charge controller in it. And then underneath the front here, we're going to have that spare tire that comes with basically every Airstream that they make standard. Now in the front here, we're going to have the solar guards here. This is going to be a polymer kind of plastic material that's protecting the glass that's underneath that window there. These do open, so you can open that one to clean it. The center one here also opens, so you can clean that window, but also so you can open that center window. And the same thing on the other side. This is going to be a stainless steel rock guard right here. It just has a protective film on it for shipping when it comes from the factory. We take this off obviously before you take ownership of it, but if you buy this Airstream, you can check and see that this VIN number matches the one you bought, and yours could be the one that's in the video. How cool would that be? But stainless steel, this does open and let you wash behind it. This is kind of a sacrificial panel, the same as this, so if you get a rock, it just goes into this, and that's a whole lot cheaper to fix if you need to replace it in the long run. Now, this is a 30-foot floor plan. It's a very long floor plan, and one of the things that Airstream does, which I'm a fan of, is whatever length Airstream they can give you, they give you that length of an Airstream. It's getting a little windy in here, but we might have to put this awning away. We're going to put this awning away, and we'll be right back. Okay, the awning has magically went back in place, so we don't have to worry about the wind blowing. Now, with it being a twin bed, we are going to have this little bit of extra storage right here on the side that you would not get if you opt for the queen bed model. I do think on this front bed Flying Cloud, there's a huge benefit to the twin bed, and we'll show you that more on the inside. Now, this is kind of a mid-entry door for the Airstreams. It does have the new door handle that started last year, and check this out. How easy that was to close. Of course, we do have aluminum steps right there. Now that the awning is put away, you'll notice that you can't see the awning LED strip that's up there, the LED lights. You can only actually get any use out of those when the awning's open. That's one thing I'd love for Airstream to change. There is a step light that's right there beside the step that Laura can show you right there, that you can turn on when the awning is away. Now, we do have 2 large windows on your campsite side, which I do like about this floor plan. There's a U-shaped dinette right inside that area there. Now, right here, we're going to have your Goodyear Endurance tires. We do get the American-made Goodyear tires standard with the Airstreams. They're ST225 75 R15s. And then you're also going to get the Dexter axle. Laura's going to show you a shot of that. Now, the Dexter axles are standard. They're torsion axles, and they're fully independent. So each tire has the ability to go up and down on its own. That's going to translate into a much better ride quality for both the Airstream and for towing when you're towing it, and you have a good low center of gravity as well. Now, these also have the damper shocks that are up here. That is also going to give you some more stability when you're going over bumps and going down the road. Now, no maintenance bearings. You just need to check those once a year. They do not need to be packed. And then we also have the auto adjusting Dexter brakes down there as well. A little port window, because this is a bunk. So you gotta have a little port window for the bunk. And don't worry, this bunk has a port window and that bunk gets a port window. Everybody gets a port window on an Airstream. Isn't that cool? So we've got the storage there that's gonna be under the beds. You also get some storage back here as well. So decent outside storage for the Airstream, and that's huge. Like go all the way in there and show them that storage. I mean, it's a massive storage that goes all the way back in there. Now on the back side of this one, we are going to have the optional window awnings. Now generally speaking, if it's a Blue Compass Airstream store, and we have 13 Blue Compass Airstream stores across the country, remember, if you're near one of those and want to buy from me, you can pick up your Airstream from there and still work with me. So, you know, take advantage of that. Generally, we're going to stock, not Star Wars. We're going to stock. Laura's looking at me like I'm crazy. Sounded like I said Spock, but I was saying stock. So we usually stock these with the window awning, even though it's an option, as well as the solar and the lithium batteries and the convection microwave. We do have the standard backup camera up there that comes with basically every travel trailer. The base camp doesn't get the backup camera, but all the other travel trailers do. And then this is going to be a wet storage area. So anything you put in here is going to get wet, but it's great for things like your leveling chalks, you know, regular chalks, like extra sewer hose if you want to have that. And now we're going to come around to the, I guess, roadside slash business side of the Airstream. Now you get two awnings here. They don't come as close as like the 30-foot rear bed. And I guess it's because the vent's right here, and so they want to give you space to have the vent go out. But that window gets an awning, and then you have a longer one right here in this area. Now, right here, we're going to have our AV input, which is going to be your RJ45, and then your coaxial cable input right there. And then underneath, we're going to have our black and gray tanks right here. Now, those do have the arms, the valves are up in the underbelly, which is a huge benefit for full timing or extended stays, where if you're going to be in that colder climate, the valve is actually up in the underbelly. I like that. Airstream used to do that on a lot of floor plans. Our 2020 Flying Cloud has that same setup. We've got our city fill here that does have the pressure regulator built in. Remember, don't use an additional one. It will prevent the water heater from kicking on. And then your black tank flush. That's going to connect to the black tank. Goes down into the hose that goes in there, and then it's like a sprinkler system that sprays out the black tank and then flushes that out. We have a great video that we just posted that has kind of our process of what we do when we are leaving the campsite to go back home. You also can see my hair really crazy in that video, so you should definitely check it out. We've got our potable water or freshwater fill right there that is gravity fed, and then we've got our outside shower. Should we do the outside shower bit?
We should do the outside shower bit.
So you guys know, if you've watched my videos, I am not a huge fan of this shower. Guess what Airstream did for the 2025 0.75 of the year update? And the reason I say that is usually we'll get a January update. We call that the 2025.5 update. Well, Airstream decided to do like a February, March update. We have a new outside shower. So let's go way over to the Globetrotter. All right, we can speed this up. Ta-da! So for the mid-year-ish, like super mid-year update for Airstream, they gave us a new outside shower, and I love this. This is exactly what I've been wanting. You've got a quick disconnect right here that allows you to take this out. You will have to take this out and store it somewhere. But then when you want to hook it up, look at this. Just plugs right in. You don't have to do anything. And then super easy, hot, cold water, spray off all your stuff, spray off your feet, your pets, whatever you want to do. But this is a huge improvement over what we've had currently or before. Now we've got this, and that's going to be on every Airstream floor plan or model that they currently make. Now we're back. So this one is going to have that shower on it because it was made before February. We have the 50 amp input right here, and it's the smart plug. Fantastic system, very easy to plug in and unplug, and you have 20% more metal to metal contact, which will reduce heat transfer We also have the the sewer hose storage right there. And then we have the furnace. It says Suburban Furnace. Oh,
Oof.
man, I'm hitting everything with my head today. Suburban furnace. And then we got a little bit, watch your head.
I see it, thank you.
And a little bit of storage right there, because this is the twin bed. Again, if it's the queen bed, you're not going to have that storage there. You just have the storage off the front. Now, as far as windows that open, you've got this front window that now has part of my head on it. You've got these two windows here that open, and this window over here open. So a ton of windows for air to come in. And then you've got these cool port windows with the the sink right here. Okay, let's go to the inside and check out the inside of the 30-foot Flying Cloud front bed bunk. You have not done a video with me on the bunk, have you? Nope, first one. So this is definitely the ultimate family Flying Cloud for sure. How many do you think? Okay, so we could sleep 2 up there, 1 there, so that's 3, 2 here, that's 5, 2 there, that's 7, 2 there, that is 9. 9 people could comfortably sleep in this Airstream, which is insane. There's also an enormous amount of storage. I guess we're in the middle, so we'll start with the sofa. There is some downsides to this floor plan. One of those is the sofa is kind of just facing this side, which I guess if you're looking at the windows, let me see that. If you're looking out, you can see out the windows. If the door's open, you'd be able to see out the door. So that's not terrible. The TV is going to be right there from this angle. Let me hand this back to Laura. So that's one downside to this floor plan, but to give you a, multiple sleeping areas, there's some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. Now, there is a ton of storage on this floor plan. Like, look at all of that. Everybody gets their own compartment. Like, that's crazy. And these are all soft close as well. Now up here, we're going to have our JL audio radio. It has Bluetooth, AM, FM. And up here in this section, you're going to have the other end of that RJ45 that I mentioned on the outside. Your HDMI connects to the TVs. And then this is your power for your HD antenna. We do have a inverted circuit up here, so you can plug things like an Apple TV. And then this USB right here connects to the back of the radio. One of my favorite things about this floor plan, you notice where the speakers are?
I haven't seen any yet. Oh.
Boom. Great spot for the speakers. There are some in the front facing straight down, but you could turn that zone off if you wanted to and just have music playing here. So I really like that too. Now, U-shaped dinette. Let's talk a little bit about this. Not my favorite as far as dinettes go, but to make room, like to have an aisle here, this is really the only option they have for a camper that's only 8 foot 5.5 inches. So it's a little tight there. You can scoot around. And I could sit here. Now this table does move. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. So I can unlatch that and push it out that way. You can also loosen the top section and you're able to rotate it around. So you can kind of do that deal and then turn it, like this and sit like that. This is basically the same dinette that's in a 23-foot Flying Cloud, crazy enough. But if you've got a couple of kids, 2 adults, you could make this easily work. I would love to see them figure out how to put a actual like a regular traditional dinette right here or somewhere in here, but this is the floor plan that the Airstream currently has for a Bunk model. Now we do have the 27-inch TV here that is 12 volt. It's a smart TV. It does have the ability to have things like Netflix, YouTube, YouTube TV, that kind of stuff. And then it's bezel-less for 2025. We do have this bezel across the bottom that's a really nice metal accent, I think. GE air conditioner control right here. Now this has 2 air conditioners. There's a 15,000 BTU right here in the main area that does have a MERV 8 filter intake right there. And then in the front, in the bedroom area, it's going to be the 13.5. Now these do have heat pumps in them that's good down to 29 degrees. And they're going to run about 20% quieter than your traditional ducted AC system. Now, port windows on this side here I really like. And this also has the skylight here in the middle and the new max fan exhaust fan with the rain sensor is right there as well. There is storage underneath both this dinette right there and then also the front dinette, and if Laura swings around the side, there's a nice little shoe storage area right there as well, which I am fond of.
And that little random area.
Oh, that is super random, but a little random area. And then of course you got your
some hooks too.
Whiteboard hooks, lots of hooks. And the little ones up top. So I already showed you all the storage up above. So counter space wise, very good counter space for a flying cloud that sleeps 9 if you think about that. But surface mounted sink, this does have a cover that goes over top there. And then we have the storage underneath with the trash can that comes with it. This does have, as I mentioned outside, the optional convection microwave. You could do a regular microwave with a propane oven here if you wanted to. You're just going to lose the storage that you have right here, which the storage is fantastic to have. Not that this particular Airstream is lacking, because it is not lacking in the storage department.
He just knocked the ladder. And you've got your silverware holder in this
right there.
one.
And then a little funny storage area right there. Now this will be your pantry area. Nice, it's deep, lots of storage, but then check this out. Drawer, drawer, another one, and another one. And then if we go across, we're gonna have wardrobe boxes. And then below that, look at this.
A lot of storage.
I ran out of words to say because there's so many drawers. Now, what's crazy is you can get this floor plan as an office. This area right here would transition to be an office instead of bunks, and all the storage stays the same. So it's crazy, like a ton of storage if you're looking for that type of floor plan. Now, this top bunk here can hold 300 pounds, so technically I could get up there. I'm not going to, but I could get up there. There is a light. Let me grab the camera. So we do have a light. Each bed has its own light right there. And there's USB charging. You also have, they have their own port windows that shoot you on the outside. And there is a little max air or max fan right there in that area. That's where the ladder stores when you don't need it out. And then everybody gets their own bed. Down here, we're gonna have a little storage area right there that has bins that pull out. We also have another USB charging, a light, and then it is pre-wired to be able to put a TV in this area. So you could have one TV down here for the kiddos to check out TV, but very large, double over double, which is, I do like. Airstream used to do kind of a single bunk up here, which was not very useful.
Before you move on, do you want to show the curtain?
Oh yeah, there is a curtain.
You do get some privacy.
Yep. So there's a curtain here that goes around the bed. So you can kind of send the kids over to one side of the bed area and you know, like, hey, you guys go to your end and mom and dad goes to their end, and there's some separation between the two. And at night you can still get to the bathroom if you want to as well. So kind of cool. I mean, it's a cool setup. Like if you got a family and you want to have enough room for your kids to bring friends with them, this is the floor plan that does that. Did we still about? No, we didn't talk about the stovetop. Stovetop, 3-burner stovetop. The Furrion does have the fan that exhausts to the outside. You like my hand motion?
I do.
All right, now one thing I want to point out. This does hit the mattress right there, so there's a little bit of give, but it doesn't open fully. Mirror right there, and then this has a composting toilet. You know that? I guess because of where it's at, but there's all the, let me see that. There's a bunch of controls here for your composting toilet. I'm guessing just with where it's located, they have to have.
Is that standard?
On the front bed floor, the 30 front bed flying cloud. So this one in the office has that. The porcelain though, surface mounted countertop here, and then that is going to be a plywood countertop. Toilet paper is right there, easy to get to, and then you've got storage underneath there. And then we have, this is already dirty, so I'm not worried about taking my shoes off. Very large shower, corner shower. The corner showers tend to be the bigger showers, but tons of room. This is basically the same shower that's in the 20 front bed Caravelle. but huge. Doesn't have a little thing that pulls across, and that's got a squeegee on this side to squeegee it all. You got a shower rod right there. You got a seat, but it doesn't block your feet from going underneath. And then the shower head, of course, is movable, but a ton of room. Very easy to take a shower in here. I would have no problems with this shower. You do have the exhaust fan right there, and then there's a mirror that has the 5 times, as well as like the regular side right there. And then the bigger mirror that's actually on the door. Okay, so next will be, well, let's show the refrigerator since we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We're like, this is like ADD Chad's RV reviews today. 10 cubic foot Norcold 12 volt refrigerator. Works fantastic. Cools down very quick, especially compared to the propane fridges that are no longer around. And it's quite a bit deeper than a traditional propane refrigerator. All right, let's flip around and show the twin bed area. So I'm a huge fan of the twin bed, especially on this floor plan. I feel like there's certain floor plans where the twin bed makes even more sense. And then there's floor plans where you can go either way. You know, queen bed's just fine. But what you get with this one is if mom wants to have some privacy and be able to get ready in the morning, she can pull this curtain, and then she has this kind of space to herself. She can get dressed, whatever she wants to do. Or if mom and dad want to separate, you know, kind of get some separation from the kids, they can shut that curtain as well. Also, getting up and out of this bed is much easier. You're going to be 34 inches wide and then 80 inches long. So if you're taller, you're also going to like this bed. But how easy it is to get up and walk out and be able to go to the bathroom. And with the twin beds, you also get 2 more storage areas, or wardrobes. These shelves are removable and adjustable. So like even more storage area on an already like super storage floor plan. We do have a center nightstand on the twin bed setup. If you do the queen bed, you'll get nightstands on either side, which is one of the benefits to the queen bed. Power right here in the middle that is not on the inverter. And then we also have USB both type A and C on both sides for both folks. I want to get this one for us and upgrade ours.
Yeah. Sorry,
ADD moment. And then we did have storage underneath the twin bed, as well as the inside and the outside. These right here pull out, which is nice. And then we have a true tote in that one. And then this side we'll have the little tubs that pull out as well. We do get a 24-inch TV in here with an inverted plug on below. So if you do need a CPAP at night, there is an inverted plug that's connected to the standard 2,000 watt inverter. And all of our overhead lights do have dimmers. I haven't mentioned that, but when I mention that, you know, that's really...
You want to open the lockers at the back?
You know, I didn't do that.
You did not do that.
So we have storage back here. And then it does have a soft close. Great storage though. Now this one doesn't have the extra locker right there. Both of those windows open, and then your center front window will open, but you'll need to open the, that solar guard first. All right, I think that's everything on the inside of this flying cloud. Let's go take a look at the roof and underneath, and then we'll come in and do a quick conclusion. All right, we are checking out the top of the bunkhouse flying cloud, and one thing I just noticed that I've never seen before is flexible panels on a flying cloud. That is not normal for an Airstream. I'm not sure, maybe there was a supply chain issue and they had to go with the flexible panels and not the rigid panels, but generally, if you look over there, it's gonna be a rigid panel. So that's a question mark. But we do have the 2 GE profile air conditioners up there. You can see the skylight and the exhaust fan. That little white dot right there in the middle, that's where your Airstream Connect antenna is, or the 5-in-1 cable. You could use a different pep link if you wanted to. All right, so here is the bottom area, or the underneath of this Airstream. All aluminum. There's the spare tires we talked about, and then you're going to see those manual heavy-duty stabilizers. Again, this is going to come with the manual stabilizers and the manual awning. Now moving back a little bit further, we've got our sewer hose storage. You can easily add another one of those if you want to have extra sewer hose storage area. Again, a 15-foot will fit in there. You can see that Dexter axle going across. It's kind of a square tube, definitely a different look for an axle. than what you're probably used to. We've got our freshwater tank right there in the middle. Now this is a 30-foot. I would definitely recommend the 3-inch lift kit. That is a dealer installed option. You can't get that at the factory. You can only do that right now at the dealership. So, but I recommend it just because of how long this camper is and how much overhang you have from that back tire. But fully enclosed underbelly, and it's aluminum, right? That's awesome. All right, folks, if you've made it to this point of the video, first of all, thank you. We really do appreciate everybody who watches the videos, likes, and subscribes. And if you're not a subscriber, that is an easy way to thank us for making the video and putting this content out. Click that subscribe button. It means a lot, and it's huge for us. Now, if you have any questions about the Flying Cloud with Bunks or really any Airstream floor plan, feel free to reach out. My contact information is down there in the description. And of course, if you're in the market for Airstream, I am a salesperson for Airstream. So feel free to give me a call or come by the store here and just ask for Chad when you come by, and I'll be happy to take care of you. Other than that, you guys live riveted. Hopefully we'll see you down the road. Thanks. Bye.